This is Insight on Sundays with Lady Colleen Heller. That would be me. Today we're going to speak on focus, movement equals mind change. Now, everyone's heard of Pavlov's dog theory. In order to train an animal, you would do certain things. One of them, according to Pavlov, was to ring a bell or sound a whistle and put their food in front of them so they would associate the sound with eating. Then they would move the food further away, around the corner, make the sound, the dog would look, and finally the association would be made. Later, he would discover that as soon as the dog heard the whistle or the sound, that they would salivate. So he knew that the connection was being made clearly. It seems that we actually do that in our own lives. We do that with our children, we do that with ourselves. So we always do something that brings a reward. I've done this with my own animals when I was training them when they were little puppies because I didn't want them to pee. So I would do different ways. I'll give different treats for them, showing them that this was the place to go. And when they would go, you'd give them a treat. But I often used a sound like a tapping on the paper or scratching on the paper when they start looking for a place to go, so they know that's where it was. And then they'd get their treat. So they started going there. And I found this in other places, like when I was in England, when they were trying to bring the cattle in, they would come with their tractor, sometimes just with the dog, and the cows from far away would start coming in as soon as they heard that, because they knew that they'd have to hear the sound, they'd move over and they would get their food, right? Well, that's all training. How do we apply that to our life? Well, people who have stopped smoking, or people who run marathons, people who have lost weight, people that have learned languages with an accent, people who have stood on a stage and lectured to 300 discerning people, people who have stopped doing drugs cold turkey, respect, all of these stressful challenges that you rise up to through the days that you thought you would puke before rising to meet them are things that you work through the stress and the aggravation to get to, causing you to move, and then your reward would be you did the things that you said you would do, and the elation of that was your reward. So we've been doing it for a very long time. The question is, do we continue to do that? And the answer I find is yes, in fact, we do. We continue to do it even till today. We train our children, we train our students. If we have students, there's every way in life, we always have a reward. So in fact, in order to change an adult behavior, then we must have the agitation of the challenge, then we have to have the thought to do it, the movement, and then the reward.